Notochord and eye. Development of notochord is what is known as notogenesis. The presumptive notochordal material is present on the roof of the archenteron as a longitudinal strip, the chorda mesoderm. It becomes separated from the adjacent mesoderm and underlying endoderm. The cells, they arrange themselves and it forms a cylindrical rod which is called notochord. The notochord is attached to the underlying endoderm by a band of cells called hypochordal or subnotochordal rod. It is seen beneath this notochord cells. It is seen there's a layer connecting the endoderm and the notochord, and that layer of cell is what is known as hypochordal. Hypo means below the caudal region, or subnotochordal rod. And this develops only in amphibian embryo and it degenerates immediately. This subnotochordal rod, it degenerates quickly. The notochord exceeds from the pituitary body of the brain to the end of the tail, and it is found on the ventral side of this neural rod. That neural rod is there, and the notochord is found ventral to the neurochord but on dorsal side of archenteron. The cells of notochord are closely packed, but later they fuse together and become vacuolated except a layer of peripheral cells. Later sheets are formed around the notochord, and there are three main types of sheets. Primary sheet, it is formed by superficial caudal cells, which is an elastic sheet of connective tissue. The secondary fibrous sheet, it is formed by the caudal epithelium, and there is a skeletogenous sheet which is derived from the sclerotome. So the notochord is surrounded by three main sheets. The primary sheet, which is formed of superficial caudal cells, which is an elastic sheet of connective tissue that supplies it with blood vessels. The secondary fibrous sheet, it is formed by the caudal epithelium, and the skeletogenous sheet which is derived from the sclerotome. So this is the structure where you have under this neural plate or neural tube, you have the notochord on the dorsal side. It is ventral to the neural plate but dorsal to the archenteron. It is found on top of archenteron where the chorda mesoderm cells, the chorda cells form what is known as notochord. It is lined by three layers of sheet. Development of eye. The eye is a photoreceptor. It is an ectodermal derivative. So it is developed from the ectodermal cells which form the neural plate. The development begins even at the gastrulation stage. The first sign of eye formation appears with the development of two optic vesicles from the lateral walls of the embryonic diencephalon. From the diencephalon, two optic vesicles arise from the lateral walls of diencephalon. Formation of optic cup. The eyes develop as two lateral outgrowths of the prosencephalon or the diencephalon called optic vesicles. The cavity of the optic vesicle is called optocele. The connection of the optic vesicle with the brain is by a narrow stalk-like structure which is called optic stalk. The optic vesicles, they are connected by means of an optic stalk to the brain at initial stages of development. The optic stalk becomes connected with the ventral side of the optic vesicle, and the optic vesicles extend outward and reach the ectoderm. So this is how you find the optic vesicles, how optic vesicles are getting. The wall of the optic vesicle next to the ectoderm is gradually flattened and later invaginates to form a double-walled cup which is called optic cup. The optic vesicle, the wall of the optic vesicle which is near to the ectoderm, it flattens and then invagination occurs, and this invagination, that is actually a double-walled cup which we call as optic cup. The optic cup, it consists of two layers. The inner layer which is derived by invagination, it gives rise to the nervous region, the retina, whereas the outer layer will be a thin black pigmented layer for the absorption of light. This optic cup, it has two layers, the inner layer which is the retina and the outer layer is a black pigmented layer for the absorption of light. Initially the opening of cup is very large, soon its rim bends inward and this converges so that the opening is reduced, and this opening is called the pupil. The rim of the optic cup surrounding the pupil, that becomes the iris. So optic cup is there, it is double layered, it has a pupil, and the rim of the pupil is what is called iris. Later on, large amount of pigment is deposited in the outer epithelial layer of iris. A groove extends along the ventral side of the optic cup, and this is called choroid fissure, and this groove that is seen on the ventral side of the optic cup which is known as choroid fissure. It extends to the middle of this choroid fissure, it extends to the middle of optic stalk, that is also from the ventral side of this optic vesicle. It serves for the entry of blood vessels and mesenchyme cells into the posterior chamber of. So this is how a cup is developed. This invaginates in, it forms a double layered one with a retina and a pigmented cell. Then there you have the pupil, and on sides you have iris. An optic stalk is also present. The retina develops a membrane on its innermost surface which is called the internal limiting membrane, whereas the outermost layer of the retina differentiates into rods and cones, and the inner cells that differentiate into neuroblast or nerve cells. And lens, when the lateral surface of the growing optic vesicle comes in contact with the ectoderm, it gives off stimulus of some kind which causes the ectodermal cells to elongate, and this forms a disc shaped thickening. This disc shaped thickening is what you call as lens placard or lens rudiment. It curves into a cup and finally separates from the ectoderm. The free edges of the cup, it form a globular hollow lens vesicle. The lens vesicle, it comes to lie in the cavity of this optic cup that is being formed. So this is how, this is the optic cup. You have the pupil region and the lens fits into this region. It comes from this region and you have the iris. The cells of the inner side of the lens vesicle elongate, become columnar and are finally transformed into long fibers. The nuclei degenerate and cytoplasm become hard and transparent, making it refractile. These cells are called lens fibers. The outer layer of the lens remains unchanged and becomes the lens epithelium. The junction between the lens fibers and the lens epithelium, that represents the growing point of lens. Here the epithelial cells are continuously transformed into lens fibers. So this is how lens is being formed. You have a pigmented layer and you have a retina, and the inner layer of retina that forms the nerve cells, whereas the outer layer that differentiates into rods and cones. When the lens is formed, the free margin of optic cup touches the edges of lens and grows in front, forming iris. Thus lens hangs in the opening of this optic cup. Soon after the development of lens, the overlying ectoderm that closes over and differentiates to become the cornea. It closes over the lens or that acts as a layer around this on top of the lens, and that becomes the cornea. It is continuous with the skin. The transformation of the skin into cornea is caused by an induction which arises from the optic cup and lens. The ectodermal cells covering cornea form an extremely thin transparent membrane, and that is what is known as conjunctiva of the eyeball. In adult, this becomes continuous with the inner lining and upper and lower eyelids. The space between lens vesicle and the overlying presumptive anterior epithelium of cornea represents the anterior chamber. It contains cellular material called vitreous body, anterior vitreous body. The choroid and sclerotic coat of eye develop from the mesenchyme cells that accumulate around the eyeball. The interior layer of mesenchyme cells that gives rise to network of blood cells surrounding the pigmented retinal layer, and those are called choroid coat. And the outer layer of mesenchyme that forms fibrous capsule, the sclerotic coat or sclera around the eye, that gives the shape to the eye. The sclera provides protection to eye and the eye muscle. The ectoderm from above and below the original lens placode region grows out as two folds. These folds grow over conjunctiva and come to touch each other, forming a complete layer of ectoderm. At a later stage, these folds separate along the line of fusion to form the regular upper and lower eyelid. So first it is a complete layer of ectoderm around the eye, and then it forms the upper and lower